Nvidia stock rallying today, up around $6. The chip maker, confirmed a China slowdown, but it did deliver what's seen as a solid sales forecast, and it's still saying that the AI market is posed for, quote, exponential growth. Let's get more from Dan Morgan, VP and Senior Portfolio Manager at Synovus Trust. Dan, always great to see you. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks for having me back.
What jumped out for you with this Nvidia report?
Well, Andrew, when the numbers first hit, it was very messy, right? Because we had to look at the reported numbers, and then we had to take into account the lost sales of the H20 China ban. So when you take out those numbers, for example, and you look at, you mentioned the guidance going into for second quarter of 2026, the consensus was about $46.5 billion. They said 45 billion plus or minus 2%, but they said that there was a lost opportunity of 8 billion in revenue associated with the H20 ban. So obviously if we put those numbers in, you're over 50 billion in revenues, which is a huge beat. The other thing that stood out to me, Andrew, was the huge beats that they did in other segments. For example, networking, they beat by over $1 billion in revenues. Gaming, they beat by over $1.5 billion in revenue. So if we get away from the data center, which was pretty much in line, 73% growth, that's where most of their AI chip revenue is booked. But we look at networking and gaming, those were both way above expectations. So I think that's why, Andrew, the stock is trading up right now, because of those reasons, and not just focusing on the fact that obviously the numbers were very messy because of the H20 ban.
Now, H20, was a chip that they were selling into China?
Yeah, so the H20 chip, they did about a $4.5 billion write-off associated with that on their inventory. And they said that on the most first quarter, which is the one they just reported, that was about a lost opportunity of about 2.5 billion in revenues. And then they said is on the second quarter, it was about an $8 billion revenue miss or lost opportunity because of the H20 ban. So I think, Andrew, if we net out the H20 ban and look at what the numbers would have been, they were very strong.
Would you be a buyer of Nvidia stock right now with new money?
Well, Andrew, we've had Nvidia on our buy list since about 2018, 2019. Okay. Matter of fact, it's kind of funny. I can remember when their gaming revenue was greater than their data center revenue. That's how long ago we've been involved with the stock. If you look at the multiples right now, it trades at about over 40 times earnings, trades at about 26 times fiscal year 2026 earnings. If you look at their price to book, which we like to look at for chip stocks, at about 35 times price to book. Just to give you an idea how high that is, if you look at the Philadelphia Semiconductor Exchange, the SOX, which we talk about a lot, it's only trading about 4.5 to 5 times book. So from all those valuation perspectives, you would say, wow, this stock is off the orbit. But it is a stock that I said has been on our buy list for a very long period of time. We own over 1 million shares, Andrew, of the stock. It's been a huge gainer for us with our clients. So for new monies that would come in that had the proper risk objective and tolerance for volatility, it would be something that we would try to accumulate on weakness.
Right. I mean, the stock is nearly back to that record high it got to on January 6th of this year. So nearly back into all-time high territory.
Yeah, Andrew, and it's a very volatile stock, right? We could have some other news coming out about bans, or let's say Nvidia is supposed to come out with a new watered down chip now that could potentially be a Blackwell chip that hopefully will get approved to be able to sell into China. Well, if that doesn't happen, the stock will come down, and sometimes it'll trade down to like 115, 110. So it'll kind of move between 105 and 150, 160, and there's always opportunities in there based on that kind of movement, based on the current news that's coming out surrounding the stock. It's a very highly followed stock, Andrew.
To put it mildly. Now there are rival chips coming up, including devices being developed by internet giants such as Amazon.
Yeah, so it's interesting because if you look at some of these proprietary chips that are being developed, Amazon is one of them. You have Meta, who's also involved in that, Microsoft, Apple. So they're producing their own chips internally. Some of them are co-contracting with Broadcom to basically produce chips that they can use for themselves. They're not selling them in the open market. The companies that are selling AI chips that compete directly against Nvidia would be Advanced Micro Devices. They have the MI350X, they have the MI400X. Those are supposed to be really ramping up in the second half of the year. Intel has their Panther Lake AI chip that's supposed to roll out hopefully in the second half of 25. You also have Marvel Technologies is in that group, but those are really the ones that compete directly against Nvidia for selling AI chips in the open market. Companies like Amazon, Meta, Microsoft, they're producing their own proprietary chips to try to take off some of that, reliance on Nvidia.
And before we let you go, you say that they still sell devices for gaming, but these are not the big fancy Blackwell chips that cost thousands of dollars. These are smaller devices that go into high power PCs and laptops.
Exactly, Andrew. These are GPUs. So they are GPU like a Blackwell or a Hopper, but they're specifically set up to be sold into the gaming space. Just to give you an idea of some of the things that they focus on with these gaming chips, they talk about it in their investor conferences that I attend. They'll talk about bleeding, meaning if you're playing a video game. I don't play video games, Andrew, maybe you do.
No.
But evidently, as you move your icon around, there's like a bleeding effect into the screen. So they're really good on eliminating that. They also make graphic chips, believe it or not, that go into, you just talked about Hewlett-Packard before the break. They go into all the big PC manufacturers, Dell, IBM, and so forth, or Lenovo has now taken IBM's business, but HP, they buy those GPU chips that go in on the graphic cards. So that's another area big for them in terms of business.
Yeah, I'm tempted by video games, but I just don't want to go down that particular black hole, Dan.
Okay.
Thank you very much
Andrew.
indeed. Dan Morgan, Vice President and Senior Portfolio Manager at Synovus Trust, coming up.